Hello, guys. I am back once again. If you haven't noticed, I'm in the same exact place as I was in the last video. Um, because I'm recording all these in one session. I want to get as many of these out of the way as possible before I start my part-time job. And you'll probably hear about my job through these videos. Nothing confidential, of course, but we'll have to see. Something I want to talk about is, I want to be able to talk about more serious topics on this, you know, page and not be like, afraid about it because, I'm a public figure and whatnot. But, I'm probably just going to have to bite the bullet and do it anyways. And that's kind of what this video is for. I wanted to talk about, grief and my weird experiences with it. Um, as you've probably noticed, I lost my dad a few years back. And it's been really difficult moving on without him. I had to learn how to shave without him. I got my first, job without him. And also, a lot of my YouTube success happened after he passed. And it's been kind of really weird to think about, if he'd be, proud of me or not. He probably would be. I also graduated high school without him. And, something I think about a lot is, would this make my dad happy or not? But I'm not sure. I had a bit of a strange relationship with my father. He's like my best friend, which isn't abnormal. But near the end of his life, he would vent to me a lot. And, well, that's probably not something you should do with your kids or whatnot unless they're, like, older. But I don't know. I felt like, in retrospect, it's probably not something he should have been doing, but it got me to know him a lot more, and I would be probably more sad if he didn't. I've also learned that I have to grieve friends as well. I've had some, I'm not going to air any drama out here on my channel or whatnot, but I've had to grieve friends before because not every friendship is salvageable. I've had some abusive friends, even from the rap battle community. Obviously, I'm not going to be naming names or anything, but, I've had people that just weren't great to me. And sometimes I wonder, how would it feel if they were still in my life and if I would like it more. But, obviously I have to remind myself that it's the right thing to do, that they're not in my life anymore. I've been thinking about it a lot because I had to cut off one of my close high school friends because he did something genuinely reprehensible that is just not okay. And it took me longer than it should have to cut him off. But, he was the only other person in my friend group to have lost a parent before, and we really connected. He was kind of like my best friend, and so to find out this information was like a huge stab in the back. I tried to influence him to get help, but obviously he wasn't going to do that. But I've had to grieve that friendship as well, and it's not easy. Some of these people, I wish they were in my life still. Not my friend who did the reprehensible shit, that's never happening, but sometimes friendships also just naturally fade out, and I think, what would it be like if I was still friends with this person, and I kind of grieve it a little bit. Another thing I've grieved before is, relationships. I've been in my fair share of those. Haven't been for a good minute, but, I've had bad experiences with them, Again, I'm not gonna name names or anything, but I've been treated very poorly in them, and in the past I've even been like cheated on, but you move forward after shit like that. There's no other choice, but every now and then they'll cross your mind, and it'll be hard, and you'll wonder, what would it be like if this person was still in my life? And every now and then I really, after being in like the relationships that I've been in, constantly feel like I am doing something wrong by not having a relationship at this moment, which is not true. I shouldn't rush into it. But I constantly feel like I am doing something wrong by not dating right now. And I should probably do something about it. But, I'm probably not going to be trying to rush into it too hard, but I definitely do wish I was in a relationship right now. I'm not going to, I don't know. I constantly feel like I'm doing something wrong by not dating right now. And I guess sometimes I grieve past relationships that were genuinely fucking horrible for me. And, I had to deal with the fallout of a really bad relationship, like around the time my dad passed. And that kind of combo really had me out for a while. And, if it weren't for some of my friends, I probably wouldn't still be here because, dude, 2024 is just terrible. But at the end of the day, I think, I am happy that I am the person I am today. I've made a lot of personal progress, and hopefully in the future, I think I'm good with the friend groups that I have right now, and it's the first time I'm comfortable and I can say I don't think any of them dislike me. But yeah, I guess this is a more serious topic. Sorry if I brought the moods down on your Sunday or whatever, but I just wanted to get like one of the more serious topics off my chest and, experiment a little bit. That is all. Bye bye!